580 CFRA. And now it's time for today's afternoon edition op-ed. Here's Rob Snow.
Premier Couillard continues to impress, perhaps the most underrated premier in the country. Let's review some of the recent history of this neurosurgeon turned politician, a man who has risen from relative obscurity as a Charest cabinet minister into what I would call one of the gutsiest politicians to come along in quite some time. First of all, a year ago, he was widely considered to be an also-ran, just some unknown liberal, carrying the torch for the Federalists, sure to be swept away in the midst of a snap election campaign in a province consumed with identity politics and a wildly popular values charter. It didn't quite turn out that way. His Liberal Party buried the Péquistes, maybe once and for all. And it turns out he was just getting started. All of a sudden, here was a premier in this most progressive of provinces talking up oil exploration in Anticosti. Quebec would tap its vast northern region for mineral riches and build new hydro facilities to power it all. For the better part of a year, he has been waging war with Quebec's powerful public service unions, forcing them to contribute more and expect less from their underfunded pension plans, a truth that hurts so much, firefighters rioted at Montreal City Hall while Montreal police looked on and did nothing. Here is a premier who hasn't been afraid to take the knife to one of Quebec's sacred cows. $7 a day daycare can now cost as much as $20 a day. All of it met with protests in the streets, again by organized labor. He has told the striking university students that he will have none of their nonsense. They can strip down to their knickers and bang their pots and pans all they want. If they want to strike over the cheapest tuition in Canada, he's ready to let them lose their year. He's even talked about bringing Quebec officially into the Federation, shook hands with Harper, and said he'd like to see Quebec sign the Constitution in time for Canada's 150th birthday. And today, the closest thing we've seen, perhaps in many lifetimes, to a balanced budget from Quebec City. Other premiers, particularly his neighbors to the immediate west and east, could learn a thing or two from this, the bravest of all first ministers. There, I said it. The Premier of Quebec.
That's Rob's opinion. He welcomes yours. And follow the afternoon edition on Twitter or email afternoons@cfra.com.